We want to have a conversation about teachers, and you know there's a conversation about the Teacher First policy. The government have been talking about this, the president have been talking about it, and I've been joined by Dr. Kwabena Bempah Tandoh, and he is the Deputy Director-General of the GES, and he's going to help us to understand exactly what it is that they've been up to. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and
Fantastic.
I hope you're well.
You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, so Teacher First as a policy, tell us a little bit about what it is that you've been up to.
Well, at Ghana Education Service, we are the implementing arm of policies for the Ministry of Education at a pre-tertiary level. And so our key and our main work is to ensure that we deliver quality education in the public space in pre-tertiary. That includes ensuring that we have the right staff, they are equipped well, and then they have the mandate to deliver on their work. Since 2017 at the Ghana Education Service, we have been putting together and instituting a number of policies that is in line with the President's Teacher First policy. Number one, we have spent a lot of time ensuring that we upgrade the level of the teacher, and we have done this in line with the UNESCO benchmarks, which were part of the benchmarks that were approved by the cabinet as part of the Education Strategic Plan 2018 to 2030. But in those benchmarks, there are a number of things we have done. But in terms of our Teacher First policy, we have spent a lot of time ensuring that very soon the level that a teacher will enter the Ghana Education Service will no longer be a diploma, but rather a degree. This has been achieved because of the upgrade of the colleges of education to university colleges of education. We have ensured that we have paid a lot of the 3-month pay policy arrears that were left. We inherited about 97,000 people in the service who had a 3-month pay policy that was impacting them. So far, we have paid about 91% of those arrears. There are still some to be paid, and we are going through the process to do that. We have spent a lot of time ensuring that we improve the quality of the teacher in the classroom in terms of professional development and such. The Ministry of Education and the government has spent some time really understanding what the teacher needs, and it has translated into professional allowance for teachers in terms of professional development at 1,200 cedis annually, and then non-professional teachers about 800 cedis annually to help them improve in terms of their professional practice. So we have done a lot to try to address and to push that policy of Teacher First.
Looking at some of the historical antecedents to where we find ourselves now, there have been issue of maybe different schools, lack of teachers, and so on and so forth. What sort of intake have you had in terms of employing more teachers, more staff? Are there teachers that are available to be employed that you've taken on?
Oh, of course. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of trained teachers out there. And as Ghana Education Service, over the past 4 years, we have employed a little over 93,000 teachers. If you count this year's, we are doing our final 6,500 employment for graduate teachers. Now, we do our employment based on financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance. And so every year, the Ministry of Finance will give us a financial clearance for employment. This year, our financial clearance is about 27,000 plus for different categories of teachers. And so in terms of availability of teachers, yes, there are availability of teachers, and we continue to employ as we need for the service. Obviously, any entity, including the Ghana Education Service, we employ as we need teachers. And in the past 4 years, we have done well to employ 93,000 teaching and other professional staff into our service, some to replace staff who are retiring. Our commitment to teachers who were trained in the colleges of education, and once they go through all of the qualification processes, completing all of your coursework, completing your national service, and passing your licensure exam if you're a new teacher coming in. Once you have those and you are from the colleges of education, you apply and you're employed. For graduate teachers, we employ based on the financial clearance that we are given. This year, we have been given financial clearance to employ about 6,500 graduate teachers.
Okay.
And if you count the 4 years and you add this 6,500, we would have employed a little over 24,000 graduate teachers between 2017 and now. And so in terms of employment, that's what we have been able to do.
That.
Yes.
Speak a little bit to the issue of the licensure exam. I mean, I know there's been a whole lot of hue and cry about that, whether it's something we should do or not do, and so on and so forth. I mean, I understand the need for a professional body, to have a licensure exam, okay? But can you say something to allay the fears of those who are concerned?
Thank you. That's a very good one. Number one, the first thing I would like to say is that teachers who are already in the system don't have to write an exam. Oh, they go through a continuous professional development to maintain their ability to teach. The licensure exam, which was actually introduced in 2016 when the Director-General Jacob Kor was Director-General, was introduced in about 5 districts, including Savelugu, including Upper Menya Krobo, and a few other districts as a test run. Now, this licensure exam, what it does is that it creates an atmosphere where we now have teachers that we can identify as professional. Because if you look at all other professions, just like you said, medicine, law, engineering, accountancy, architecture, and even I'm a professional social worker. Okay. All those professions, it is not graduating from university that makes you a professional. No. You go to a professional body where they take you through a certain level of assessment and standards. And even our teachers are not saying that they don't like the exam. Okay. The Deputy General Secretary of NAT actually at an event in 2019 said that they do like the professional exam. What their concerns were was the cost associated with writing that exam. I see. And of course, that has been alleviated because of the professional allowance that is now given to teachers to help them grow. But anybody who wants to be a teacher must be able to go through a certain standard before you are admitted into the classroom. I wouldn't want someone who is not licensed by the Ghana Medical Association to perform heart surgery on me. And for that same matter, I wouldn't want a non-licensed teacher to teach my children.
Okay. Sometimes, and I'm saying this because there are some professions like that, so for example in the field of medicine and also in the field of education, sometimes there's a challenge of people coming into the space, not necessarily because they have extreme passion or desire to do it, but it's almost like, I don't have any other option, let me go and teach, and then they become almost like a liability, as it were, to the students that they are supposed to be impacting. Is there anything that GES is doing to sort of inspire people to become more passionate and more, should I say, emotionally intelligent towards, the work of teaching and, and so on and so forth?
The first thing I would say is that with now saying that in order for you to even become a graduate teacher, you must have a degree. That changes the caliber of people who apply into universities or to attend the university colleges of education. Because just like, we go to university to do medicine, to do law, to, people will now apply to university to say, I want to spend 4 years being trained to be a teacher. So that attracts a different caliber of students. Again, raising it to a degree level means that even the quality of the people you bring in at the very entry, it's higher. In terms of within the GES, there are a number of things we are doing. Of course, it's to help the teacher professionalization, but it's also to help teachers shape their mind around the work that they do. Every Wednesday in our basic schools, for the second half of the day, the last hour or last hour and a half, what we do every Wednesday is that we allow the teachers the opportunity to be in professional learning communities, to encourage each other to learn more about the new curriculum, to talk about the challenges, and professionally grow amongst themselves. 4 times a year. Again, these Wednesdays, Students go home, so it's only teachers. 4 times a year, we call them pupil-free days. So students don't come to school. Teachers are given the opportunity to have a full day of professional development. So every year, Ghana Education Service, we give our teachers between 74 to 78 hours of time that we pay for. So they are still on salary, but it's for them to grow themselves professionally. And all of these help to ensure that, teachers motivate each other.
All right, so if you just wrap this up for us, anything else that GES is doing that you would like us to know?
Well, one of the last things I would like to say is that we are very proud of the way we have also introduced accountability into our work now. We now want to ensure that what we do, we are held accountable for. We're actually introducing a project funded by the World Bank, which is GALLOP, the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes. So we are now saying that we will hold ourselves for how students are learning. Are they improving in their learning, their performance and everything else? We are doing that through the type of training we are now giving heads of schools for school leadership, the type of training we are giving teachers in terms of pedagogical approaches to teaching and the like. So we are very excited about the fact that we are now connecting our own performance to student learning.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Dr. Kwabena Bempah Tandoh, who's the Deputy Director-General of the GES, and he's been helping us to understand what it is that they've been doing about the Teacher First policy.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.